Welcome everyone to today's webinar on the Young Scholars Program 21. I'm Payoja Alwalia, an undergraduate student of political science and mathematics at Ashoka University. I have been an academic counselor for various editions of YSP, and we're delighted to have all of you here. Now, before we begin, there are a few housekeeping announcements. Please type in your questions in the Q&A box below. Questions can be asked throughout the duration of the session, and they'll be taken up at the end of the session. Lastly, while asking questions, you can choose to remain anonymous or reveal your name. We're definitely looking forward to an engaging session. Now, without further ado, I'll be welcoming Dean Vanita Shastri. She's the Dean of Global Education and Strategic Programs at Ashoka University, beloved across all programs from the undergraduates and postgraduates. So welcome, Dean Shastri.
Thank you, Payoja. Welcome, everyone. It's wonderful to meet you all virtually. I know this is not a really moment of joy as you were expecting about even 3 weeks back, with globally the vaccines being made more easily available, and with the hope that the pandemic might be, coming to an end. But things have turned, and it's just a wake-up call that we all need to be very careful and look after ourselves. So I hope you all are healthy and are staying safe and are following all the protocols that the advisories are giving us. We are trying to be very safe at Ashoka as well, and following whatever we can do in the best interest of our students, faculty, staff, and the campus. Having said that, this happened to us last year as well, around the same time. I remember very clearly it was 3rd of April, where we decided to take YSP online. And it was, some of my colleagues are here from then, it was quite a juggle, quite a pivot, quite a changeover, but we did it. And we did it superbly, as you will see and hear. So there is always a silver lining. And one of the silver linings of this situation for the last 1 year has been that we can still do programs virtually. We can still meet online. We are completing our courses, teaching, degrees, everything. As you know, your students and all of you who are in high school are doing the same. So, in that moment of hope and possibility, let me share with you more about the Young Scholars Program that we've been hosting at Ashoka for the last 6 years. And this will really be the 9th edition. So we are very thrilled and excited to bring you another edition of the YSP. Let me start sharing my screen so I can tell you a little bit more with some slides and some colors about the program. So I hope you can see my slides. The YSP program is going to be held online. And here are the dates, right? It is June 14th to 18th. Again, this year we struggled with the dates. We decided we will try and find the best window of summer holidays or break between schools. And we found this gap and this week. So I hope it works for most of you. I know there were lots of questions about this, but it's going to be virtually, it's going to be online, and it's going to be for 1 week, Monday to Friday. It is a certified program. So everyone will get certificates if you attend the entire program, right? The Young Scholars Program is really a reflection of Ashoka University's being a liberal arts and sciences institution. What does it mean? It means that we are a program, or we offer courses that are very well thought of in terms of the connectivity between disciplines. And here's a place where you actually see the arts and sciences work together. So you're not doing only physics, biology, chemistry, or not doing only history, literature, and philosophy, but you see a good subset or a good combination of that being taught by a really outstanding Ashoka faculty that we have had, who have come to join Ashoka from world over. And therefore, this multidisciplinary focus, where you are in a physics class and you also see the philosophy of it, or you are in a psychology class and you see the neuroscience of it, or you see its application in terms of the field or the lab. So it is really a very multidisciplinary experience. Also, as I said already ahead, that it is online, but that will not stop you for getting a very immersive, enriching online engagements. We have already opened our applications. We are getting a lot of questions and comments about it, but we are not only, it's a basis of rolling. So we are just, as we are reviewing applications, we are offering admissions to the program. So here is a sort of a glimpse of the kind of faculty you will have. You can see some of the faces here, but as important as the faculty is also the fact that it's going to be a broad, based glimpse into multidisciplinarity. So you will get history, you'll get computer science, you'll get psychology, you'll get literature, you'll get math, and so on and so forth. Often we are asked, can I choose my courses or my disciplines? And again, for you to really get a glimpse or get an insight into the Ashoka pedagogy, the Ashoka way of learning, we will not give you a choice. The mornings will be academic sessions, and you will be exposed to 10 or 11 disciplines. And you'll get, a small little module, 1 hour, where you'll be able to see how does biology work with history, and what is history telling us about literature, and what is literature telling us about math, for that matter. So the classrooms are very interactive. Our faculty do not really sit and give a lecture. It's more about, how to create a classroom that is the Socratic method, let's say, of asking questions, thinking about it, and so on. So these are just some of the highlights. If you can see, it's really about Thrive, right? The THRIVE, very thought-provoking discussions, getting you to think about issues critically, very stimulating. You'll probably go back, and we've heard this over and over again. Oh, wow, we didn't know that. We didn't think history could raise such questions. So, of course, the multidisciplinarity part of our education and the liberal arts pedagogy, which I'll talk a little bit more in detail in just a minute. But we also have this very important part of the program, which is like Payoja said, she has been an academic counselor. What does that mean? That means that we get a lot of our own undergraduate students who work with the program, who work with your students. So your students, the young high school students, get this very interesting peer-to-peer interaction with our students, make lifelong friends, and meet them in very small groups. We call that each student has its own cohort group, and there's a lot of networking and getting to know each other and making friends. So it's really a lot of good interaction. And plus, we do all our workshops online as well. And those are also very, very enriching, and cover a lot of different forms of whether it's multimedia or it's writing or it's immersive modes of learning. So this is really the Ashoka pedagogy. We call it the T model of education, where we do the breadth and the depth. Now, of course, this is just a 1-week program, but it gives you a glimpse of how, if you were to come to Ashoka, and not only to Ashoka, if you were to choose another institution like Ashoka, a liberal arts university, anywhere in the world for that matter, they follow a similar pedagogy of giving you the ability to think across disciplines and then deep dive in 1 or 2. Even in Ashoka, you have the possibility of doing a major and a minor, which means you can do, let's say, computer science with entrepreneurship. You could do history with international relations. You could do economics with business and finance. So you can combine different things, sometimes very contrary disciplines as well. And you could do political science with a minor in psychology. And also we have a concentration. So you can really get the ability to deep dive. But in addition, we also are very mindful of these 21st century skills that every student going out in the world, into the job market, into the workforce must have. What does it mean? We really need, and companies are telling us all the time that we need students who are problem solvers, who can think creatively, who are constantly learning. They're not just giving up, I'm done with my degree and that's where learning ends. Organizational skills, collaboration, right? The cultural exposure, because this program is so pan-India and also very international now, you are, in groups where you meet students who you would not meet otherwise. You may be in Mumbai, but you'll meet somebody from Indore or Patna or from Pakistan or from Kazakhstan or from Nepal. So you really are then in a place where you have to go out of your comfort zone and make friends and listen to views that you may be exposed for the first time, right? Structure of the day. A lot of people have this question about what will be doing the whole day. And I'll just walk you through this. This would be a typical day. Like I said, in the morning, we have the academic sessions where you'll have a session or a classroom experience with one faculty back to back. So 2 every day. Then there would be a writing session. And writing is a very important component of YSP as it is of the Ashoka pedagogy. We have to be able to be good communicators, have to listen, but also write succinctly, briefly, well. So writing, and again, writing will be done in small classroom. And we have at Ashoka a center for writing. We have various faculty who are trained how to teach writing. And these are the faculty who come in, do these sessions with us. Then we have the discussion session, which is even smaller group, which is what I said, where a person like Payoja, who is the academic counselor, the student will meet, the counselor will meet the YSP students in small groups to talk more in depth about what did they hear in the morning, what did they not understand, what can they read a little bit more about it, the discussion, and frame these thoughts in a manner that makes it more palatable. Then the YSP Atelier is the name that we give for our online creative workshops. We have several of them, and there is choice. You will be asked once you're admitted to the program, and the class is almost all set. At one time, we'll release the workshops to everyone. So it's really first come, first serve. If you want to do a workshop, you really have to hit and get the workshop that you want. But, I always say that it's not important if you don't get yours, because you are only operating from what you know. You don't know what you don't know, right? So sometimes we have this situation where we just assign you a workshop and the students are very unhappy. Oh, why did I get this? Can you change it? But once they do it, they realize, oh my God, I didn't know this. I didn't know I could write. I didn't know I could paint. I didn't know I could do, robotics or something else, whatever. So this is something, I always talk about serendipity, discovery. So give yourselves this chance, explore and do the atelier, do the workshops that either you choose, you get, or even the ones that you assigned, they'll be great for you. As you know, Ashoka is a new private university. It has been founded by a large number of philanthropists in India. And we bring some of our founders, especially the original founders who are very closely associated with Ashoka, to come and also share their journey. We also have a few guest sessions. And one of our very important guests is our admissions team. We will bring you a session dedicated about how to apply to Ashoka if you are going to consider applying to Ashoka as for your undergraduate program. Even if you're not, that's not on your horizon right away, you may think about it. But the lessons you will take away, and our admissions team is very generous. They, apart from sharing, they even give away the slides. They say you can take it and keep it. That will help you about in your college admissions, how to build your profile, write your resume, no matter where you apply. And then finally, in the evening, we have something what we call YSP Unwind. After a day of intense activity, again, in small groups, we have various choices. You can just hang out, see a movie together, discuss a book, dance, share music, just some. And we have our engagement counselors, who again we have hired from our old undergraduate program, who will be running these. So this is going to be facilitated in large part by a battery, or almost like a whole group of undergraduates at Ashoka who are very, very creative, as you will see. So that is, and the YSP Unwind is not mandatory. It's in the evening, but we want to give you that time to, just relax and hang out. And that's, we hear from the feedback we get. Students really enjoy that because that's where they make lifelong friends. It's a little bit deeper about the discussion sessions. As I was saying, these students really find it very, very engaging. They feel it, they're very comfortable in the space with their almost their own age group, right? Our students are only 2 or 3 years older than them. and then they can participate very actively. The writing sessions, again, are amazing. They find it very, creative. And the writing session are all themed. So it could be that, the one faculty is talking about writing poetry, the second faculty could be writing about blog post, or, so the theme might be different, the subject might be different, but the mode or the structure of learning how to write is the training that all students will get. And so through this, they flower out in different ways. As you can see from the testimonials, somebody has written their first poem, somebody who thought they could never write, discovers that they are able to actually express themselves through writing. Then, of course, here are the clear sessions. This is just a snapshot of, the kind of themes that you might have. As you can see, from film to finance to dance to philosophy, photography, TED Talk, poetry. There are all kinds of. There's something on pets, which is not here, but last time we had something on your pets. So stock market. These are very, very popular workshops, and you can opt for them. These are all based on choice, as I said. Here are some testimonials from our last couple of sessions. And as you can see, again, these are something that we feel very happy about, because when we put out our learning outcomes and we realize that we're actually meeting the goals of what the students are looking for, and especially in contrast to the school kind of learning, the YSP offers a very new and different model. So that's interesting. I also want to just say that we also have our parents. We ask them for feedback, and we actually have a parent here today who will share a little bit later. But as you can see, the testimonials are, again, wonderful. It does provide the students the ability to sift for themselves, what kind of subjects am I interested in? Sometimes a new subject comes up, sociology, anthropology, and things that they may not have done before. And they might want to learn about that a little bit more. We do understand that this year it's going to be virtual, as it has been even last year. So we have a very nice virtual tour of the campus for those students who are in your orientation. We'll take you on a virtual tour of the campus, so you can see the different spaces. You can get a feel of the campus. You'll understand what the undergraduates are talking about when they say, oh, the library we do this, or the gym we do this, or in our eating space we do this. But we've been sort of now caught in this COVID pandemic, and it's gone on too long. We were hoping that once it gets over, we'll have a YSP weekend and invite you all. We'll still do that. We're committed to doing that. Right now, it just seems, I don't know when. I can't promise the dates, but certainly all YSP students from last year and on to this year will all be invited to a weekend once we are back on campus. But of course, if you can't make it, you're always welcome to come in. The outreach team does tours constantly, Monday, Fridays, and or even custom based on your travel. And so we will welcome you to come and take a campus tour as well. So I would invite you really this summer, come and be part of YSP. Gift YSP to yourself, especially with these new things happening. Here is an opportunity that will open many, many possibilities. And don't deny yourself that. Just come explore this range of disciplines that you will get introduced to, different style of teaching, the small discussion groups. I can't even tell you how interesting and fun they are. And so you really see when we say liberal arts, what does it mean? How to get liberal arts in action. That's the email that you want to use for communicating about the program. And all the details are on our website here, ashoka.edu.in/YSP, right? It's very simple. If you look for that, you'll find it. And all the details, even some videos are there. It is a fee-based program. So these are the fees, 500 rupees to apply and 2,500 for the program. We just moved our deadline. This is a new deadline. So we're really going out now to get the class completed. As I said, people have been applying. We have been rolling out offers. So don't wait. Just if you're interested, ask questions now, ask questions by email, call us on these phone numbers and apply. We do also have the possibility of financial aid. For some reason, if you want to apply for that, in the application form, it's very simple. You have to fill your basic biodata, your parents' name, school name, etc. And then you have to do a short essay about why you want to apply. And then, just fill in some co-curricular activities, any other certificates, games, merit awards you've got, all of that. And then if you are interested in applying for financial aid, there is towards the end, you'll get a question which says, do you want to apply for financial aid? If you say yes, then it opens up new things that you have to upload, some documents and so on and so forth. And then we'll review that. And so there is financial aid as well. But I will urge you to, take the leap and apply for YSP. And here are all the details that you will need, right? So if you're very convinced, then you can just go to that very top, log in, make your account, and then open an application. Website is very simple. Email is there. And I would also urge you to follow us on our Instagram handle, which is YSP_Ashoka University. And Facebook group we have. We do a lot of engagement activities on our Instagram page. We do a live session as well, so you can actually talk to Ashoka students and have them answer your questions. Plus, we are always putting out new videos, new engagement activities, fun stuff, quizzes. So I would urge you to follow us on Instagram. So I think I've really covered a large number of the aspects of the program. Let me stop here. And as I said, today we have a very, very special couple of parents of Malhar who did the YSP in the winter in December. And so I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a moment and invite Vaishali, who is the mom of Malhar, and Premal also, he is there, but Premal, sorry, he is also there. So let me stop here and invite Vaishali to give a parent's perspective on the YSP program.
Good evening, everyone. Greetings to one and all of you here, and hope that all of us remain safe during these trying times. Talking about Malhar, he's currently in the 12th grade, just got over with his 11th grade, and he did the YSP program last year with Ashoka. And it was a real eye-opener for him. He is from the ICSE curriculum, so he was always a very structured person as far as his academics and his approach towards different things was. He was extremely structured, but once he entered the ISP for 1 week, his entire perspective towards life started changing gradually, and we could see the transformation in his thoughts and actions in all ways. He's been a very, very passionate cricket player throughout his school days. And he always used to play and read about cricket. But one thing that Ashoka got into him was that he started writing blogs. He started critically analyzing things, strategizing. He started, analyzing a lot of things, and he started putting up blogs, small blogs about cricket. So that was one thing which was very, very, very enriching for him and gave him a lot of confidence. The other thing that we saw in him was he as a person was very shy, but after getting into the YSP program, he got a lot more confident and he started interacting with his peers and even adults. He started engaging in a lot of discussions very confidently. He also adapted to reading diverse and different materials, as he understood that it was very important to have a very interdisciplinary or a multidisciplinary approach towards things. So this really, we could really see that he was trying to broaden his vision about things and be very, very confident and take better and rational decisions in his approach towards things. So I would really thank the Ashokan team to really enrich him with all these skill sets that he's trying to develop. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Vashali, for sharing your experience with us as an alum YSP parent. And thank you so much, Dean Shastri. That was an extremely informative session. Now, let's invite another member of the YSP family. He's currently an undergraduate student of economics at Ashoka University, prior to which he had done YSP at Ashoka in 2018. He'll be sharing his experience of YSP with us. So over to you, Idhan.
Yeah, thanks, Peoja, for the introduction. So, hi guys, good evening. I'm Ithan Sharma. I'm currently doing my major in economics, and I'm doing my minor in entrepreneurial leadership and strategy. I'm currently in my second year, and yeah, I'm just here to share my experience. So, I attended YSP in 2018 when I finished my class 11 and I was going to class 12. Um, so yeah, I was a typical JE aspirant. And I wanted to do engineering at first, and I'd attended multiple institutes like FITG and all that stuff in my class 11. But by the end of class 11, I realized that those subjects did not really interest me much. And my ultimate aim was to do an MBA or like get into business. So studying PCM for 6 years of my life did not make a lot of sense. And that is when I started looking and exploring for other options. And this is when I came across YSP and Ashoka. My father had been urging me to think about Ashoka because he'd been reading a lot about how the founders had been going about with a certain aim for what they espoused the higher education sector in India to be. And I really had no clue about what a liberal arts education is like. But the whole multidisciplinary angle, which I think Dean Shastri has also talked about multiple times, that appealed to me the most, because when you come from from a curriculum like CBSE, where you don't really have a lot of option in choosing varied subjects together, or intermixing fields. And as a student who till class 10 really enjoyed most subjects and wanted to learn at least some things about what the other subjects talked about. So for example, when I was in the science background, I never really knew what the pol science kids were doing, or what history talked about, or what sociology was. So I wanted to give it a try, and that's why I applied for YSP. And yeah, it was almost a life-changing experience for me. There were a couple of things. So firstly, I got a lot of clarity after just talking to my cohort leaders, seniors at Ashoka, and professors after classes, and yeah, even other seniors who are part of the YSP team. So yeah, I think that clarity which I got was invaluable at that stage of time, because in class 11 and 12, that's really a time when you're in a lot of doubt, because your decision will it basically ensures what you study for the next 3 or 4 years of your life. uh, Secondly, I think it was all about the exposure. As far as faculty is concerned, uh, you get access to one of the best faculties that the country has to offer. And they say that a teacher plays a large role in how much you like a subject. And I think that's a situation which is taken care of in Ashoka, because you are sure that whatever course you're taking, or whatever lecture you're taking, be it history, be it sociology, economics, uh, really whatever, whoever the professor is, they're one of the best in their fields. Right, and that makes your choice of what you want to pursue further very easy. And the other thing was, obviously, someone would never delved into subjects like sociology or anthropology or psychology at a deep level. I think those classes really give you a lot of perspective to things. They help you in, widening your horizons for sure. Because in this age of data overload, and just the amount of information that is available, I think having a unidimensional approach is not really going to work anymore. And this is what the basically the program equips you with. And so I was pretty thankful for that. And yeah, the second part was the holistic application process. So what that ensures is that every one of your peers, or every other student which is part of the program, be them in your cohorts or the people you will be interacting with in your discussion sessions or your classes. The admission process, which is so holistic, ensures that everyone you talk to, you learn something from them. Someone may be very good at academics, someone may be very good at social work, someone may be a great musician, someone may be a great sports person. And I think that peer-to-peer learning is what matters the most. Secondly, when you come from a school which is in a certain region, so I came from Chandigarh, some people were from Bombay, some people from Bangalore, and what happens is that you were really interacting with a certain demographic, you're interacting with a certain region or a certain type of people throughout your life. So when you come to a program like this and there are people from more than 25 states, there are people even from abroad. What that does is that and when you're discussing topics like topics in political science or topics in economics, right, and their real world applications, it really helps to get a wider view of how people think so differently across margins and across fields. And I think in a country like India, where every 100 kilometers you travel, there's a change in culture, there's a change in habits, there's a change in language, there's a change in traditions. I think that's something which is invaluable, right? Uh, I think lastly, I think as the program was coming to an end, it helped me get a lot of clarity as to what I wanted to do ultimately, because till that time I was pretty sure on what liberal arts meant, what a multidisciplinary approach meant, what were majors and minors, because these are concepts which are very alien to Indian students, right? Because liberal arts is not really the mainstream in our country. Uh, and obviously being a part of ISP helped me in my application process, because when you answer basic questions like why do you want to come to Ashoka, or why do you want to choose liberal arts, especially when you're coming from a science background, right? I was doing PCM and suddenly now I'm doing a major in economics. So it helps you, I mean, make sure that you're taking the right decision, and it helps you answer questions, no matter who's asking, or even for your own sake. um, and I think lastly, I think this is a point which even Dean Shastri talked about, that we don't in YSP we don't really get a choice as to what we want to do. I mean, in the sense that the lectures are perfectly randomly allocated, and I think that works best, because I remember by the third or fourth day, me and my friend in YSP, we were particularly sure about the fact that we wanted to do economics when we came to Ashoka, whenever we do apply. And we contacted a lot of people. We said, can we get the economics lecture, please? We don't want to do the history lecture at all, because that's something we never, participated in or thought we would be interested in. But unfortunately, yeah, that did not happen. Fortunately, unfortunately, because then we got a lecture with Professor Rangshu Mukherjee, and it was a history lecture. And I remember by the time the lecture ended, I think half of the class had tears in their eyes, because uh, it was so interesting. History was always a subject which you looked at in school, which was something like very boring, full of facts, dates, names. But that lecture really felt like a storytelling session and not like a lecture at all. And that's something we were thankful to this day, that had we been able to choose our courses, it will be the same problem would have occurred, right? It would be very unidimensional. We would have chosen biology, we would have chosen mathematics, we would have chosen physics, and we would have chosen economics. So ultimately, you're not really getting out of your comfort zone, which is, I think, very important. And yeah, as Dean Shastri said, I'll just echo it again. You have to try something, you have to experiment to make a judgment about it. And I mean, class 11, class 12, this is the time to experiment, and that's what YSP gives you an avenue to do. And yeah, therefore, I think that's what happened. We delved into a lot of different topics. We learned how to view certain topics from a variety of perspectives. Any topic in general, macroeconomic policies, should electric vehicles come to India, how will they come to India, it depends on the region. And just any topic in general, the farmers protest, how do you look at it from a variety of fields, right? I mean, how many different perspectives can you think of? And that is what the whole multidisciplinary approach is all about. That is what it equips you with. And yeah, I think that was my experience with YSP. And now we have a video that we have prepared for you, which basically goes through how YSP takes place and how the program was last year. Even though it was online, I think it was a lot of fun.
got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric, baby, when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up, no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop. And under the lights, when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good, good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop feeling. So just dance, dance, dance.
Thank you, Vedant, for sharing your thoughts with us and the team for that lovely video. Since the Q&A box has been filling in with a lot of questions, we'll be moving now to the questions submitted by the audience during the session, and they will be answered by Dean Shastri. So the first question is, since the CBSE board dates have been changed and the exams will mostly begin from 15 June, will the date of YSP be modified accordingly?
Right. This is a very difficult question to answer because, all the program and preparations have been made. And the dates, as you know, YSP this year, because of the online mode, has been open to grades 9, 10th, 11th, and 12th. So both, I think all three, now the 10th board exams have been cancelled. So I think it's going to be really hard to change the dates. Unfortunately, if the exams are going to happen on June 15th, we were not, obviously planning for that. They were supposed to be finished by the 11th of June, and that is why we had chosen these dates. So unfortunately on that, we don't think we have a definite answer. As of now, I can just say that we will definitely do the YSP June 14th to 18th dates with the students we have. We've already enrolled over 200 students. So that will definitely happen. Could we do another YSP later in the year or over the winter? That we again will have to go back to the drawing board and discuss that internally and see. So unfortunately, if your exams are starting on the 15th, of course your exams are most important. You have to complete your schooling. I would urge you to do that. But if there is an alternative, then we'll look at that and we'll let you know.
Thank you, Dean. The next question is, a student is planning for studies abroad. So will YSP assist in their profile building process for it?
Doing any of these kind of programs always helps you, not just only for profile building. Of course, that's important. But like Idhan said right now, give you a perspective, get you a little bit more understanding of yourself, your interests, opening new things. You may have been interested in biology, but suddenly something else is going to be interesting to you. So any of these kind of programs that you do will definitely help you in applying to college wherever it is, even India or abroad. I would strongly recommend you to be involved in doing these kind of things.
Yes, thank you, Dean. The next question is, will there be a sort of limitation in terms of networking because the entire program is online?
I think you saw that movie, that film was not made by the staff members or the Ashoka faculty or the team. It was made by students and the counselors, right? So they video recorded, they put it together. And like I said, the counselors, so you can see a lot of fun there. There's lots of work, but it's fun. I think it's, it was really rewarding. And a lot of people, if you go to our Instagram page and see our video testimonials, you'll see some of them saying that we didn't know, we thought it was online and it won't be that immersive or that, in terms of just being able to hang out with each other. But there were many possibilities, many opportunities for them to network, get to know each other, make friends. So I wouldn't worry about that at all.
The next question is, what does it mean by Ashoka pedagogy, and could you tell us more about it?
Right. So the liberal arts and sciences pedagogy is a new way of thinking, or not new, but a different way of thinking. It's been, of course, around for a large number of years. It's a method of teaching and learning where the multidisciplinary aspects, broadening your mind, asking questions, thinking critically, writing. All these are important components of the whole. So we don't only look at one thing, like even we do, in terms of just having one textbook for a particular course will not be something that will be there. You'll have lots of papers, you'll have lots of readings. You may even have, you could go out into the field and find sources from learnings from new kind of areas and places. You may interview people, you can see films, the newspapers, writings, and so on and so forth. So that is really one part of it. The other part about the T model that I've mentioned, and I showed a slide also, is about the breadth and the depth. So that, like Idhant was saying, sometimes when you are, asked to stream yourself, right? You take only physics, chemistry, math, or you take the commerce line, or you take the social science line. What happens in that is that you are streamed early on into a particular zone of thinking. And what the liberal arts pedagogy or the Ashoka pedagogy does is broaden that, ask you per force. So if you come to Ashoka, as Idhant and Payoja will tell you, you have to do a science course, you have to do literature course, you have to do a quantitative analysis course, you have to do some critical writing courses. So that is the broadening, the breadth, sort of expanding you to introduce you, to expose you to new ways of thinking. And then, of course, you do your major or your minor. And so you deep dive, learning more about computer science or economics or political science, and then your minor. Or you may do an interdisciplinary major where you want to really do biology, but you also want to do psychology. So you could do a double major, or you could do an interdisciplinary major. So that helps you think about and approach issues and concerns or problems from various perspectives, not just a very unidimensional one. And I think that is what Idhant was also saying. And that is really what we want to have available for every student at the YSP, and also those who come later to Ashoka as an undergrad.
Yeah, I think I can personally attest to that as doing a major in political science with a minor in mathematics. There's definitely that aspect of liberal arts. So moving on to the next question. The question is, what are the timings for the program in terms of hours per day in June?
Right. Exactly. So before I come to the timing, I want to pick up on Payoja said, that's a great combination, right? Like it's not intuitively a common combination. You don't go thinking I'll do political science with math. But at Ashoka, obviously Payoja may have interest in those two disciplines. She could piece it together and stitch these two together. And I'm sure she's going to come out with a career that will have and speak to both these trainings that she's getting currently. And it will create a new kind of area of work for her and for also wherever she goes, whether it's a policy group or a corporation or any place, right? So these kind of contra disciplines that work with each other is something that is also part of the liberal arts pedagogy, that you intuitively, your common sense will not let you think about that, but you can make it work for yourself. In terms of the timing, yes, that's a very important question. Thank you for raising it. We do start at 9:30 in the morning, but because again, it's virtual and it's online, there are significant breaks in between. The program goes on till about 5 in the evening, and then YSP unwind happens later in the evening. Like I said, that's not mandatory, it's optional. But a large number of students would like to go there because that's where you really network and make friends. We have a nice 1 hour break for lunch. And again, like I said, between every session, a good break so that you can, get a little off the computer kind of time. Also get a break in terms of having a snack or some water or whatever, and stretch yourself. So it mostly between 9:30 to 12 to 1 o'clock, then a lunch break, then again from 2:30 till about 5:15, and then so that's roughly, but it's not more than 5 hours but it's not all at a stretch. There's important breaks in between.
I think as a follow-up to that, a student based in Geneva wants to know what the timings of the course would be in IST through and through, since they're based in a different time zone.
Right. Another interesting silver lining, right? That it is virtual, so you don't have to travel to India. You can do it online. You can do it from anywhere. For the first time, we've actually got a lot of applicants from neighboring countries, right? South Asian countries, the SAARC countries, Dubai, and Kazakhstan, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal. Geneva, of course, is a little far away, but it is the IST time. It will be 9:30 a.m. To the evening till about 5:30. So you'll have to think about that. You're a little bit behind us, so it'll be early morning for you when we get started. But those will be the timings.
Yeah. The next question is there some sort of limitation about how many people can participate in YSP, or everyone who registers will be allowed to participate?
Well, you apply, there is a review process. Not everybody who has applied will just get in. We are doing a review process. It's not very difficult, but we do want to see your essay. We want to see how curious you are. And of course, but again, another silver lining about being online is we can actually take large numbers for the main program. But then we, of course, like I said, we break you up into smaller groups for the workshops, for writing, for all the other smaller group functions.
The next question is, are there 100% scholarships available for students applying? And if so, what would be the criteria of judging it?
Financial aid is basically based on the documents that we've asked you. There is a team that is going to review it. We also, as you know, at Ashoka give financial aid. So we know what we want to see, obviously the income, the assets, and other things. But that's a separate review process. But yes, you can get 100% financial aid if you're family and you qualify for it. Absolutely.
The next question is on the difficulty of the selection process as a follow-up to the last. So they want to know if there is something they should keep in mind while applying.
Just be honest. Just be honest and, write your essay from your, tell honestly. Don't try to be somebody else who you're not, because we just want you to be yourself. And if that is just, even if that says, I don't know what Ashoka is about, but I want to experience it. I want to come and learn. I want to see, I want to open new doors. That itself shows me that you are very curious. That's good enough. So don't fret about it. It's not a CBSE exam, really. This is just something that you want to explore for yourself. We also have a lot of fun doing it, putting it together, and we want you to have fun. So just use the fun element. Be honest, be upright, and just tell us why you want to do it, and a little bit about your experience, what you've done in school. It's not a very difficult thing. Somebody also asked whether it's a certification. I think I said that. There is a certificate you get for attending it. How is it going to be of use to you? Of course, any certificate is important, right? In terms of building your file folder or a dossier for college applications for your life. So, those things are important. And that is why, it is a certified 5-day program online.
The next question is, does everyone get to do everything in terms of, do students get to choose what subject, what field they're being taught in, or is there some sort of difference in that?
Right. So on the academic side, there is no choice. Like Idhan said, 1 year we did introduce it and it didn't work, actually, because, if you are, a science student, you think, who cares about, literature? I don't want to go there. But, last year we had one of our faculty talk about the 9 ways of thinking about love from 9 disciplines. Believe me, people could not think that, computer science has a way to think about love, right? Or math. But she came up with equations. She told about how these disciplines think about love. How does philosophy think about love? So very innovative ways to learn something that you thought may be boring or not interested in. So I would say that is the best part about the Ashoka pedagogy, right? That you discover the new possibilities. And YSP is a really small sort of step towards that. It lets you think about, we have a session on law. Students are amazed. At the end of that session, they all are, able to file their own RTI. So these things, will just open new ways of thinking and learning for you. So on the academics, we have 11 disciplines. You will get introduced to all of those. After that, there is choice. In the writing, again, there may be 10, 12, depending on the numbers, choices. You can choose. You want to learn how to write poetry or prose or drama or write introductions, or write resumes better, whatever it is, they'll be themed. And workshops are also themed. Unwind, there'll be lots of choices. So for everything else, there'll be choices, and it'll all be in small groups.
The next question is if there is a sort of limitation in how many people can participate in YSP, and as a follow-up to that, if there is a maximum strength that's decided for the program.
We really don't, worry about that too much, because we are going to break you up into smaller groups for the more important ones, in the sense where you actually have to do something like writing or the discussion session or the workshops. So I wouldn't be worried about that.
A parent has asked that this son is going to finish class 8 in May. So will he be eligible to apply for the June session?
So the very simple thumb rule is, if your child is in 9th grade in June, you can apply. And if you're still in the 12th grade, you can apply. This year, we're also letting those who are given the 12th board exams apply. But obviously now with the exam dates changed, I'm not sure that will work. But so yeah, again, 9th to 12th, you can, but you must be in June, you must be in your new class.
The next question is, how do children participating in YSP interact with each other? Is there a specific platform that is provided for it?
Yes. So yes, they all get an Ashoka ID. We invite them to join the Ashoka. We have different classrooms. They are divided into smaller groups. They have that platform. Plus, like I said, there are all these different venues and platforms where they get to meet each other in small discussion groups, in the writing group, in the workshops. So many platforms and opportunities, and also some surprise programs that I'm not going to tell you about right now, but yes.
The next question is the program only for 5 days, or would there be any follow-up sessions in the future throughout the year?
YSP is a standalone 5-day program. We do have other programs, but this one is just a 5-day program.
A student in class 9th is asking if it is recommended that they apply for YSP right now, or should they join post the class 10th standard exams?
That's really up to you. Do both. By then, there might be a YSP advanced that is being offered. Then you can say that, okay, I did YSP in 2021. Can I just do the advanced when we let you do that? So, after the COVID pandemic, one lesson that I've learned for myself, and that is not, I'm not recommending it, but it's for me, and it could be that my age is letting me do that, is I don't want to wait anymore. If an opportunity comes across for me, and I can do it, I want to do it, because we don't know about the future. So here and now is what is there. I will step in and do that. So.
Yes, the next question is, does YSP have any music courses?
There will be music workshops. Yes, absolutely. And also other forums where, you saw in the brief video we showed you, we have places where that you can showcase your own talent if you want to do music or any other program or aspect that you have learned, whether it's dance, music, anything creative.
As a follow-up to that, a student is curious if business studies is included in the program.
I'm not sure we specifically have business studies this time, but we clearly do have economics, and we do have other things that will get you sense of thinking. But we do have business type of workshops, as you saw. If you remember my slides, there was a couple of them on finance, personal finance, stock marketing, investing. So very interesting business related workshops are there.
The next question is, will students be selected on the basis of their marks? And if there is a minimum or ideal range of marks they need for the admission into the program?
So, at Ashoka, we don't go by marks, as you heard both our students tell you. We go by looking at your profile, your entire holistic application, what you have done. Have you been a leader? What kind of workshops you've done? What kind of things you've learned, merits. Other than that, we look at your marks. Of course, we want your academics to be in place so that you can actually cope with the program. But that's not the only thing. We definitely look at your essay and how curious you are about the program. So don't worry about if your marks are wherever it is, it's okay to apply. Just apply, submit that button. It's really important for you to fill the application. That essay will take a little bit of time, but you should write it quickly and submit it, because like I said, we are reviewing applications and we are offering rolling admissions into the program. So if you want to do it right now this year, please just go ahead. Be careful that, when you are looking at the application form, you go to, the submit button to, after you make the initial payment, you must come back and do submit so that your actual entire application is finally fully submitted. So just be careful of that. Otherwise, the email and the phone number that we have given is also a very good place for you to call and ask for questions.
The next question is, are students from different year groups grouped separately during the program?
No. In fact, we thought about that, but we have already had experience of doing that in our last YSP in the winter, and another new program that we added to it. It worked out well. Some of the 9th graders were also able to give very good answers and suggestions and participate well with their 12th graders. It was a good, it's one of these areas that, you learn how to listen to people who are younger than you, older than you, and also teamwork. In YSP, it goes very fast. You don't have that much of, areas to collaborate. But in the workshop or something, if you have to do something, you'll just learn how to work with the team that you have.
Yeah, I think I can also add to it. As an academic counselor, when I was leading discussion sessions of a group that had different people from different age groups, by the end of the program, I could not differentiate who was from grade 9, who was from grade 12. So I think YSP really adds to that sense. Okay, so the next question is, a student is interested in doing something which is a combination of computer sciences, data sciences, and linguistics. Will YSP be helpful in exploring that combination?
Sure, definitely. YSP will give you a glimpse, like I said, or you'll peek into what are the possibilities. Ashoka has a very interesting data science program and a data science center, which is the largest data repository of all elections data in India. It's called the Trivedi Center for Political Data. And a lot of our students do internships there, work there in the summer. They also have these short programs on data science. It is the faculty director is co-directed by somebody in computer science and political science. So you really are able to see how computer science works together with other disciplines here. It will give you definitely an insight into that.
And the last question is, when will students and how will students get to know if they've been selected for YSP? And I think this is the last question for today's session also.
Okay, wonderful. So we're doing very well with time, almost coming to the end. So as I said, once you apply, we are very, mindful of this. We are reviewing at high speed, and the team is working on rolling out offers. Like I said, we've already rolled out more than 150 offers. So once you submit, you'll get to know, I would say within 10 days at the max, but definitely within 10 days or just soon after 10 days. But the deadline is coming up. It's, we still have a little bit of time. It's on April 28th. So like I said, I would urge, if you're interested, ask your questions, send your emails. But if you have still any more doubts, follow us on Instagram at YSP_Ashoka University, and follow and, see what people are saying about it. What is the program saying about it? What are students saying about it? And the previous alumni saying about it. So you can really get a good sense of the program, and then apply and submit your application. So we'd love to see a large number of you who are here today to be part of the program. I also want to take this moment to thank our parent guests, Vaishali and Premal, for joining us and sharing your insights about Malhar's experience. Thank you very much for being here. Idhan, thank you for coming and sharing so eloquently about your experience at YSP, how I didn't realize that you had, you were a JE student and you moved and now you're doing economics with entrepreneurship. That's wonderful. And of course, Payoja, for your contribution for emceeing this program. My team members here, Shrishti and Nandini, thank you for being here and collating all the questions. Rohini and Vrinda from the outreach team, Thank you for hosting the webinar. So over to you, Prayoja. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Thank you, everyone. With this, we've reached the end of the session. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah.